Good afternoon. It's Saturday, March 21st, and I'm running a little bit late today. I apologize for not getting this posted earlier. I spent much of the morning processing and getting the worship service for tomorrow all put together, and it's a whole new thing for me, and I've spent a fair bit of time on it. But it's done now, and so I have some time to use my computer and all of my tools to share this meditation. And I can tell you too that here we are at the end of this week, and I know I talked to you about earlier in the week how I'm building a routine for myself because I need that rhythm. But yesterday, well, let me say that for 30 years, Friday has been my laundry day. I do all my laundry. I do my wife's laundry. I do laundry on Fridays. Always have. And yesterday I forgot. It just didn't feel like Friday. I don't know the difference between Thursday and Saturday. So they all just sort of blend together. So it's a very strange feeling. However, I have a service ready for tomorrow, and I have my laundry in right now. And so I want to spend just a little more time remembering the 23rd Psalm. Let me remind you. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Well, in previous days, we've talked about green pastures and still waters. We've been through the valley. We even talked about the table yesterday, the table in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. That's the next part, and I wonder about that. Again, it sounds sort of like a victory celebration, right? God, I've put up with all the crap of the world, and in the end, my enemies, those who disparage me, those who don't know how awesome I am, they're left out in the cold, and you are anointing my head with oil. And my cup runneth over. I've got so many good things. My cup runneth over. Imagine that. I've often wondered how you get to that point where your cup runs over. I mean, is it you just have so much stuff? Because I don't know. Sometimes I've collected a lot of stuff. I have. When it comes to T-shirts, I probably could say my cup runneth over, or hoodies. My cup runneth over with hoodies, and yet somehow that doesn't. I just realize, there's no celebration in it. I've bought too many hoodies. I got to stop that, and so I do. So the actual correction is to stop it from running over. So that's obviously not what the psalm is talking about. My cup runneth over. I think that's the moment that you're aware of the abundance of creation. How much there is out there. Not so that you have to hoard, but so you recognize your cup runneth over, and so there is always something. There is always someone. There is always some way. My cup runneth over. Oh my goodness, I would love that feeling. Especially right now in this time of isolation, this time of people hoarding and empty supermarket shelves. What is it like? How do I get to my cup runneth over? Well, maybe I need the Lord to anoint my head with oil. Thou anointest my head with oil. Always love that line. It's not something that we do very often, anointing our heads or anyone else's head with oil. But, I don't know that it's meant to be an ancient rite or kind of celebration. Anointing. Do you know what Christos means, Christ. It's not Jesus' last name. Christos it's the Greek. It means anointed. Jesus the anointed. So is the psalmist saying that I should be anointed like Jesus? I don't think so. I think that the psalmist is saying that I will be anointed as Norman. When I become aware of that abundance, I am anointed as Norman. I am asked to be Norman, the most Norman-y person I can possibly be, which includes my gifts and my flaws, my weaknesses, my strengths, my joys, all of that. Imagine that you didn't just fall into what you do by accident, but in fact that you were anointed. You were anointed to be a child. You are anointed to be a parent, perhaps. You're anointed to be a partner, anointed to be a friend, anointed to be an accountant, anointed to be a nurse. You are anointed, which means there is an intention by God or an intention of the universe that you should be doing what you're doing. I think in those moments when you actually feel that sense that God has called you into doing what it is that you do, that you are meant to do it, that's when you can breathe a little easier and look around and recognize the abundance of all creation. I told you I've put together a worship service. I think it's 43 minutes, 43-minute worship service for tomorrow. And when I watch it online with everybody else, I know I'm going to hate it. I am going to see every little flaw. I'm going to see every mistake. I'm going to see every decision I didn't make. I'm going to see what I can do better next week, but I'm going to be mad that I didn't get it right this week. That's me. And then in the moment that I do that, I am going to remind myself that I am anointed. God has called me to be me. And that comes with my strengths and my weaknesses, my mistakes and my successes. And when I remember that, I am going to be very happy with the worship service because it was the best that I could do this week. And I have been called by God to do the best that I can do. And when I realize that, I realize you too have been called to be you and do the best you can do. And I will celebrate you and your gifts and all that you offer. And in that, my cup not only runneth over, but goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. So, friends, know that you are anointed. You are called to be exactly who you are in this time and in this place. And don't focus on what you can't do. Don't focus on the flaws. Focus on the strengths and the joys. And realize you're anointed. You're meant to be who you are. I look forward to talking to you on Monday. Check us out for worship tomorrow on Sunday. Until we get together again, God bless.